let's
Yes.
let these fine folks, and just we've done a bunch of these. So first of all, thank you so much for being here, everybody. And for the sake of, really trying to keep us to our 90 minutes, super important that when we do our intros, this is part of the whole process of getting to know each other, but it's also part of the skill development of what we're doing here on the Rural Open. And so as impactfully as you can in your 30 seconds, so we can, move in and out to each new person swiftly and efficiently, but heart-centeredly, is like, how do you show up as congruently unique, congruently unique, so people become curious? As you introduce yourself by saying, hey, I'm such and such and such and such and such from this place, hi, I'm Joe Jones, I'm from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And what I'm up to in the world is I'm saving people incredible amounts of money on their taxes so they can have a huge impact in their life somewhere else. And a fun fact about me is that I skied the craziest double black diamond in the nation from the peak of Jackson Hole. That might be a great way to introduce yourself in a quick 30-second burst. So it's not like, hey, I'm an accountant from such and such or an attorney from such and such. You can do whatever you want. But the question for you is, does that leave you as seen as common or congruently unique? And not, when you're congruently unique, you're not like, I am better than, right? You're just displaying your amazingness in a heart-centered way. So let's rock and roll with these intros and let's take it from there. So Nita, Dr. Vin, let's please meet these fine folks. If you could just say the name and let these folks introduce themselves in that really powerful way. Let's go.
So hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm going to introduce Sean first, more formally. So welcome to the Real Raw Open, a place to get to see and experience how influence is a superpower. The Real Raw offers us the chance to have a microphone and a stage, form ecosystems, make more money in less time with more magic, using the formula which Sean Calgy curated for the past 23 years.
You know what, Nita?
Sean Calgy is an entrepreneur.
Wait, real quick. So thank you for that. What I love to, and that's a beautiful, I know you're about to introduce me. Thank you so much for that. I'm honored. What I would love to do is if we could step in with our guests first. And then, if you feel but thank you, Nita. That is exactly the normal format, but I want to change that format to let our guests be introduced. So thank you for that awesome preparation. But yeah, Nita, by the way, Nita, who are you? Because here's who I know you to be. I know you to be an attorney that supports people in having the American dream by coming into this
paving the pathway to their American dream.
Yeah, paving the pathway to their American dream. I also know you to be a connector of people who's looking to grow and build business with integrous, authentic, amazing people. And I think that's who you are. Am I on track?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And how about a fun fact and what drives you, Nita? A fun fact and what drives you?
Many years ago, driving down a very narrow dirt road, it was midnight, nighttime. Hang on one second, I've got to turn my phone off. We turned the lights off in the car and tried to drive for a whole minute. And it was so freaky. Won't try it again, but it was really funny and scary at the same time.
That is pretty crazy.
Long time ago, when I was adventurous.
Yes, and if you have any personal injury attorneys today, they would definitely be interested in Awesome. So Dr. Vin, how are you? And here's who I know you to be. Somebody that had a transformative life experience as a medical professional, a doctor. And you decided that traditional medicine and its beautiful gifts, as well as some of its inherent limitations, was something you wanted to broaden because you wanted to protect and save lives. And when you almost lost your own, and that you're out there standing for supporting people and understanding immense things about their health, including their heart and cardiovascular system, so they could live an unbelievably long life and enjoy all parts of it. And I think that's who you are. And you're also another person connecting amazing people. So please drop in. And do I have you right? Anything you want to add? And what's a fun fact?
Yes, you have me right. After, I'm a 4-time marathon runner. And when I was out running one day and had a severe crushing chest pain that made me stop running, and turned out I had coronary artery disease that had come on me unawares. I since then have devoted my life and my mission to making sure that doesn't happen to other people, so that they can realize their dreams and hopes. So,
that's awesome, my friend. And if I could ask Dr. Vin, why the Real Raw? Like, what are you looking to do here today, and what's happening?
The Real Raw to make, as you said, business connections with people, open up people's listening, help people, with their missions and with my mission. And, I just want to get out there in the world and tell people about this. So.
Awesome. So what we often say is it's about influencers influencing influencers, or leaders leading leaders, to come together to merge ecosystems, create strategic alliances, but deeper, more sustainable, authentic, and integrous, clear agreements, make things happen together to make the world an even greater place. So let's take it to our amazing guests, Dr. Vin and Nita.
Okay, so we'll start with Linda Russo.
Hi, Linda. Who are you and what are you up to in the world, and what's a fun fact?
Hi, I'm Linda Russo. I am in Phoenix, Arizona, and I am all about helping people realize that life doesn't have to be in a box where you may have come out of a certain situation or environment and just follow you everywhere you go. I'm about releasing labels, and I'm a mind surgeon. Fun fact about me is that I, at one time, trained to box.
Whoa, I love mind surgeon. I can't wait to hear more in next round. By the way, I'll be flying into Phoenix tomorrow morning. So in a coincidental moment coming from New Jersey today. So great to encounter you, Linda.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Nita.
Dr. Vin, your guest.
By the way, Ruth.
You're muted.
Everyone, my name is Ruth Carmazan, and I'm an acupuncturist in northwestern New Jersey, very near the Delaware Water Gap in Hackettstown. And my purpose is to help people through all stages of their lives, but to actually age gracefully. I enjoy a state of health now in my life. And I was very sick as a child, where older people come to me and say, well, you know what it's like when you turn 40. And I'm like, I don't, because I'm healthier now than I was then. So that's my advantage. And I own Karma Bridge Acupuncture and Herbals in Hackettstown, New Jersey. And a fun fact is I'm a weekend warrior now. I used to be a competitive athlete, but my boyfriend and I on Sunday played badminton, went swimming, and bike riding. And sweat a lot. So.
And you like climb mountains and have a dog that ran in a Iditarod and all kinds of crazy things. And most importantly, Ruth, who won the badminton game?
Oh, you're killing me, Sean. I'm getting better, but he's my butt.
That is integrity. Excellent job, Ruth. Nita, back to you.
Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel Flower. I'm here in the lovely Lake Tahoe area, Northern Nevada. And my passion is getting to the soul. I especially work in branding. I work with the soul of the brand. And in fact, one of the sayings I have is, your soul is your brand. So I work from the inside out to support people in expressing their true message, entrepreneurs and individuals that want to be entrepreneurs. So I'm passionate about freeing up our magic so that we can get it out into the world. And fun fact, I was a fire breather in the Sydney Olympics in 2000.
Rachel, that is a fun fact. That is
a fun fact. And I was on the big screen for 3 seconds with 1 billion people looking at just me for 3 seconds. So I've got another 14 minutes and 57 seconds.
That is unbelievable. And your energy, your heart and soulfulness was felt. So
you.
beautiful, beautiful introduction. Yes. Dr. Vin or Nita.
Joe Coburn.
Hello.
You come to
My name's Joe Coburn. I am a functional medicine health coach. I'm near Buffalo, New York. My purpose in this world is I want to make amazing health the majority instead of the minority in the world. Too many of us are sick, and I want to do that by changing the way everyone accesses their health care.
Joe, throwing it down. How about a fun fact, Joe?
Fun fact, let's see, well, the next fun thing I'm going to do is I've never done this before. I don't know if you guys have. I'm going to be part of a murder mystery dinner. Have you guys done that?
Oh, nice. That sounds fun.
Joe, I
I'm
always
like,
wanted to do
something
that.
new
Like,
and different.
where are you doing it?
One of my friends is an event planner, so we just went camping at her house this weekend, and she did like all this wonderful stuff that we're not supposed to do in New York, like have a live band and everything. Shh, right? And she's hosting this murder mystery dinner. So
Those things always scare me because that's always the setting for actual murder mysteries, isn't it? In the movies, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we're all gathering for this murder mystery, and then actually it turns into some really
something real.
I like
Yeah.
that. Great things. That is beautiful. So Joe, welcome. Pleasure as always. Awesome. And Nita, are you having fun, Nita?
Yes, I'm having lots of fun.
Yes. So
Not
how-
convincing?
No, you're not convincing. So like, heart-centeredness. Like, yes, you're amazing. So like, Nita, what is the most fun thing that you like to do? Let me ask you a question. Do you think that you would beat Dr. Vin at Scrabble?
Yes.
Dr. Vin, Nita's throwing down the gauntlet, and we're gonna have a real rollout of Dr. Vin versus Nita, like real scoring. And whoever loses is gonna have to go swimming on the exact site of where Jaws happened on Long Beach Island the weekend after next. So you guys up for that?
I am totally up for that.
All right, awesome. All right, so
Dr. Vin, I play Scrabble every night.
Nita is a Scrabble
I'm gonna have to dust
warrior,
off my Scrabble board.
a straight up Scrabble warrior. So who do we have next? What fine person?
Okay, Edgar.
Edgar's in the house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Edgar Jimenez. I'm from Chicago, and my personal mission is to maximize people's humanity through sharing, caring, and squaring. And I do that as an executive recruiter, connecting great. I connect great people with great opportunities. And the reason I love recruiting is because I help people improve their lives or realize ways that they can help improve themselves through improved resumes, improved searching for opportunities, and even helping them interview. So a fun fact for me was as a naval officer, I sailed over the equator and I converted from a WOG to a shellback with 3 days left in the Navy. And it was a fun and painful experience, but very proud.
Edgar, thank you for your service, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And a super fun fact. Dr. Vin, Nita.
Charles Bratton.
Everybody, I'm Chris Bratton.
Oh, Chris, I'm sorry, Chris.
Not Doctor, you're actually corrected. Legally, it's Charles.
Okay.
I'm in Morristown, New Jersey, kind of South Jersey, just outside of Philadelphia. And I own a life care planning law firm. So it's not a typical business model for a law firm. Obviously, we have attorneys, we have RNs, social workers, certified dementia practitioners, and we help the elderly, who are our clients, kind of move along that continuum of care, whether they're receiving in-home care or transitioning into some type of skilled care.
Wow, Chris, super cool. How'd you get into that? By the way, I'm Sean. Pleasure to meet you. And how'd you get into that line of the law?
Well, I originally had more of an estate planning tax practice, and I also did elder law.
Yes.
But the clients would come back and they would start asking us questions about care for mom or dad and what do we do next and where do we go and those types of things. So we brought in a social worker, then we brought in a nurse, then we brought in certified dementia practitioners, kind of help them along that continuum.
Wow, really cool. How about a fun fact?
Fun fact is, honestly, I don't even know how I got here. I was doing, somehow I got invited. I don't even know by who. I was doing I do a lot of seminars. So I was doing a medical marijuana seminar, and I think I got invited. So I decided, why not? Let's check it out, see what it's about. So I don't really know much about the group or anything else.
Yeah, very cool. So I'll drop in on that in a couple of minutes. We'll give a little bit more optics. But if you have two friends and you could find two friends and they could all sell steak knives, you can become a billionaire next week. Sound good?
Perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Right. Nita, Dr. Kim.
Donna?
Mute. Hey, everybody. I am coming to you from Burlington, Ontario, Canada. Thank you very much, Nita, for inviting me to be on this. It's amazing, having done it once before. My absolute passion in life is coaching, and the coaching that I do specifically is to help people find their purpose. So I do individual coaching to walk people through what lights them up, what drives them, what gets them out of bed in the morning. And it's the most rewarding coaching I have ever done in my life. And it's absolutely fabulous for me. I'm still back at the Jaws thing, though. I'm thinking that would be freaking awesome to swim in the same place that Jaws happened. Oh my God.
I will drop in on that in my fun fact in a second, Donna. But yes, that was an actually true statement with no hyperbole. So and that will literally happen quite potentially for Nita and or Dr. Vin next weekend. And we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. But how about a fun fact?
A while ago, when I was 56 years old, I completed something called Tough Mudder. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it, but it's the craziest thing I ever did in my freaking life on a team of 14 people. And we finished, and it was, I knew I was either going to be dead or in the best shape of my life when that 6 hours was over. And it was amazing. And I've continued to stay in good health because of it. So grateful for the coach.
I guess what was the hardest? I'm familiar with Tough Mudders. My cousin actually was a sponsored competitor. What was the most challenging obstacle in a Tough Mudder that you faced?
The most challenging obstacle was at the very end when you have to run underneath all the electric currents. And we decided no one succeeds alone. We all looped arms with each other and just went, go for it. And we got electrocuted and just kept running.
Electric shocks are in the house.
Electric shocks.
Multi-level marketing for steak knives. We have it all going here today. Nita. So yes, awesome job, Donna. Yes, who else do we have, Nita?
Say, Wong.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Say, how are you?
Okay, how are you? My name is Tae-Ung Ro. I made a career with the New York Life Insurance Company, and I work with the young professionals, small business owners, and young families to maximize their tax benefits when it comes to life insurance, long-term care, and retirement planning. My fun fact is I'm a salsa dancer, and my nanny's about to leave, so you're going to see me with my 10-month-old baby soon.
That's beautiful. And Say, if you feel like ripping it open with a little salsa at any moment on camera, feel free. It's like the Real Raw. We're having fun. So
no problem. Thank you.
Right. Awesome. Nita?
Yes. I think we got all the guests. So Michelle, cool. The judge.
Yes. Michelle, how are you?
Everybody,
not easy come from California with everything that's happening, but yes, please share your amazingness.
Okay, so I help law firms save time and money after having managed a very busy law firm for several years, and trying to find different lawyers to stand in when he would have scheduling conflicts. I decided there was a better way I could automate it. And that's when I created my company, Attorneys in Motion, which is, I like to say, is the Uber of lawyers and court coverage services. And my fun fact is I did a solo trip to Japan last year, and I got lost trying to find a temple. And I saw this really cool building, decided I was gonna explore. Walked up to it. It was the Asahi building. I figured it was corporate, just offices. Walk inside anyways, just to see, and it ends up there's a tasting room on the very top floor. So I end up at the top floor, drinking some Asahi, staring over the river at the temple I was supposed to be in, thinking this is way better view.
That is awesome.
Way more relaxing.
Yeah, that is awesome. And Michelle, would you mind? I mean, if you don't publicly share it, I'm not sure if you do or don't, but you want to share some numbers about the number of people that you've put out in the legal world working, attorneys, firms, but that's up to you.
Absolutely. We've to date got about 5,000 attorneys that we contract to do stand-in appearances for lawyers when they have scheduling conflicts.
And you do this work all over the country?
Nationwide.
Yeah.
Not
Great.
so much in Alaska. There's not a whole lot going on there. So,
Right.
but everywhere else.
Amazing. So great job, Michelle. Nita?
And last but not least, another judge, John Katz.
Hey,
Hi,
John.
I'm Jonathan Katz. I'm from Manalapan, New Jersey. So I'm passionate about helping individuals, small business owners of all different sizes. Individuals help to grow their businesses, help them save money, and help them grow their businesses from good to great. If we can do that in the process of our services as well. So that's a little bit about me. Fun fact. Experienced 3.1 magnitude earthquake this morning, centered here in central New Jersey. So that was pretty wild this morning.
There was an earthquake today. I've been like so locked down in different work dynamics. I had no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah, this morning, 2 a.m. It was pretty centrally located here. So not too big of a radius if you're in northern Jersey, but it was pretty wild. Shot us right awake and it was crazy. So.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad all is well. And we are here on the Real Raw Open. Nita, Dr. Vin, are we ready to drop in?
Well, I think I had a late sign on one of my final guests.
Please, yeah.
Are you there, Randy?
I'm right here.
Okay. Randy Aronson from David Lerner Associates, and I'll let him introduce himself and give us a fun fact.
Let's see. Fun fact. I'll do that first because that's the best. My daughter and grandchildren live in Montreal, and I can't see them because the borders are closed. That's not fun, but my wife scooted across the border, and she's there right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's sort of a fun fact. Yeah. And I work with David Lerner Associates. It's a small financial company, and I've been here for 33 years, just working with the general public and helping people plan for retirement and things like that. That's it.
It's a beautiful thing, and welcome to the Real Raw Open.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if I could drop in Nita and Dr. Vin really briefly, and for everybody, because Chris is like, yeah, like where's the Cutco show? So no, it's not that. So my name is Sean Calgy, and I am the founder of a company named Unblinded and the creator of The Real Raw. And what this is all about, my quick background story is, well, go with this. My fun fact is that I taught a blind guy to surf the weekend before last, and then I'm blind. So there's like two blind guys surfing out in Long Beach Island, New Jersey. And to anchor that fun fact about Jaws, 1.25 miles from where Jaws occurred, and we're going to do an amazing event with the folks in our Unblinded programs a week from over the weekend next, the 18th to the 22nd. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to go hang out, Dr. Vin and Nita, and let's not tell anybody that's not watching from Unblinded, and do a little bit of a fun encounter in the water, right where Jaws inspired the Jaws attack. The attack that inspired Peter Benchley writing Jaws occurred right there. So from the Angleside Hotel, it occurred in 1916 on Long Beach Island, New Jersey. And there's some additional attacks a little bit further north, about a week and a half later. But yes, that will be the fun fact for today. And so what that has to do with what we're doing specifically is, I knew I was going blind my entire life, but I'd hoped to be a professional baseball player. I grew up in northern New Jersey. I went to Columbia University as an undergrad, where I was privileged to be the baseball captain in 1992. I hope to get drafted to go on and play professionally, but my eye condition, retinitis pigmentosa, just started, give me the earliest signs of challenge. I lost some fly balls, and that was it. And my professional baseball dreams like that were gone. So I figured out what to do next. So I decided like, hey, I don't know what to do. So why not incur $100,000 of law school debt since you don't know what to do? So I did. And I went to Seton Hall Law School, was privileged to get my dream job, which turned out not to be my dream. So I started a major New Jersey law firm, and I, was working with folks, and I came to this realization: the people that had the money, the time freedom, and the magic that they wanted in their life were the folks that could generate business. And I had no idea how to do that. I was the first person in my direct family line to go to college. I did not grow up with any money. I had no idea this is the way the world worked. I thought you became a lawyer and you lived like happily ever after. But as I was living in my very tiny apartment, barely paying off my rent and my law school loans, I'm like, this is not what it looked like on the brochure. So I started to think about like my life and my future, and knowing I was going to go blind. And so I jumped off a cliff because somebody gave me a book and some other books. And I started studying personal development, business acceleration, sales training dynamics. And I discovered two things. One, that we have an incredibly unique ability to create acceleration. And two, sales didn't have to be cheesy, manipulative, harmful, and wrong, because I couldn't have done that, right? And so I built a 40-person law firm 2 years out of law school. I sold it, and I built a training and development company. I have the unique privilege of being one of only 2 attorneys in America out of 1.2 million to have been in the top 100 national jury verdicts twice between 2014 and 2016, a $27 million and $33 million verdict. In fact, one from our fine teammate, I think Amanda from Arizona. It was the largest jury verdict in the last decade in Arizona. And it was my case, my firm's case, but I was lead counsel and tried the case. And what that has taught me, I've also had the privilege of speaking on stage at Tony Robbins events in the last 7 out of 8. And what you're experiencing today is our mechanism response to COVID. Like, how do we share these unique magical distinctions about integrous influence and what we could do with it to come together and work together? So today is about us connecting, but more importantly, or equally importantly, not more, it's like unpacking the superpower of integrous, heart-centered influence. We use the word superpower, not hyperbolically, but like factually. Like, there's an immense differential in the results people produce. People of similar intelligence, people of similar heart-centeredness, people of similar niceness, people of similar hard work, and the results are dramatically different. And what I was obsessed by is what makes those differences. And that journey for me began 23 years ago. It continues to this very day. And we're here to share some of that and have some fun. So Nita, Dr. Vin, thank you. And we're going to start with like how we do this thing. So Nita, Dr. Vin, you guys ready?
Ready.
Ready.
All right. So we're each going to go for 3 minutes today. And who's going to be the role player? Just either Nita or Dr. Vin will be your role player. And you'll say like who you want them to be. And this is like March Madness meets American Idol time, right? We'll have a little bit of fun. And they'll be anybody you want. They could be an ideal client. They could be an ideal strategic partner. They could be somebody you want to get involved in your charity. They could be involved. They could be a judge, right? They could be anybody that you want them to be. And the question will be, or the assessment, the dynamic, the fun, the game will be how you go from hello to yes. Like hi to get to a yes, but this isn't boiler room. This isn't like high pressure selling. It's integrous, heart-centered influence. So you don't have to get to an absolute yes in 3 minutes. You could have your yes simply be that they're going to say yes to a longer meeting with you. And what the judges are going to be assessing is in the performance is how do you open up listening? So we're not Charlie Brown's teacher saying wah, 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 wah. We're opening, listening. We're connected in a heart-centered way. And then, when you convey who and what you are, let's step into some energy. Like, how does that energy get conveyed from you to somebody else and move into an integrous agreement? And that agreement, again, could be they purchase your services, they become a client, or maybe just a longer meeting to do one of those things. So that's what we're up to. And Nita, who's going to go first?
Donna.
All right, Donna, are you ready?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Donna. So Donna, who would you like to be your role player, and who would you like them to be?
Let me see. Dr. Vincent, you just disappeared. Where did you go?
Yeah. And so who would you like him to be?
I would like you to be a first-time home buyer. And I am going to have you want to come into my office to meet me, and we are hopefully going to move forward and work together on the purchase of your first home.
Yeah. And so awesome job, Donna. Donna, you're going to hear an alarm go off with 1 minute to go, 30 seconds to go and done. And for everybody who's not going yet, the opportunity here is not just when you go, it's like, let's like assess how Donna's approaching this. What might you do differently? How would you open listening differently? How would you access pain? How would you convey, if you're Donna, who and what she is, and move into the yes? And like, how do you transition from each so it's authentic, heart-centered, and effective, as opposed to feeling like salesy, cheesy, like friction filled? Like, what does that look like? So that's like the listening and how we all learn and access these things. So Donna, you're ready to go.
Ready, Freddie?
Okay, thank you. I love Fred Flintstone. I'll be Fred. So yes, let's go. Please take us in.
Okay. Dr. Vincent, how very lovely to speak with you for the first time.
Lovely to speak with you, Anna.
I've actually come referred to you by your good friend Nita, and she tells me that you are looking for your very first home. I can't tell you how much that excites me. So I just have a couple of questions for you before you end up potentially coming into the office, and then we start our actual searching together. So are you ready?
I am ready.
It's really important to me, especially with first-time buyers. I work with so many first-time buyers, and they're really keen. And what I care about when you actually come to the final purchase of your first home is that we meet 3 criteria. Number 1, you absolutely are in love with what you bought. And number 2, you learned a lot along the way. And number 3, you had a lot of fun. How does that sound?
That sounds wonderful to me.
Okay, so question for you. Why are you looking for what will be your first home? What's got you reaching out and looking for your first home? What's going on with you?
Well, we have children, and I want to get them into a new, a good school district. And, our apartment is just getting too cramped. So, I really want to get out into that first home. A couple of kids now, and yeah, I want to get out of the city and into the suburbs.
Okay, fantastic. Good idea. Out of the city and into the suburbs. So that's good. Remember that we said that, because that's going to be very important. So you mentioned kids. How many kids are we talking, and what ages? Because that's important.
So 2 children, ages 6 and 12.
Okay, so 6 and 12. So we're both still in elementary school. Is that Catholic, or will that be non-Catholic? Tell me about that. That's important to me.
Public schools.
Okay, so we're going to be in public schools. Okay, and what's your ideal of the perfect place?
30 seconds to go.
Okay, what catchment area are you looking for?
What does catchment area mean?
It near the school. What neighborhood are you looking for?
I would like to be relatively close so that, we could walk them to school if we wanted.
Ah, very good. Okay. Listen, what I would love you to do is meet with you, and I would love you to prepare a wish list of what you're looking for in a home. When we get together, we're going to start our search. How does that sound?
That sounds like a great idea.
I look forward to meeting you and your family. Bring them all, the more the merrier.
Okay, thank you.
Donna, excellent. How'd that feel for you, Donna?
Good. It's what I've been doing for 20 years. So.
Well, excellent work. And let's drop in with Michelle. We're going to go, judges. 30 seconds of feedback. You'll hear with 5 seconds to go, the buzzer, just for time integrity. If it goes a little past that, I'll be like, hey, and what's your score? So please, if I interrupt, don't feel anything but love. So Michelle, what do you have for Donna?
Donna, okay, I really liked your energy. You have it was a really fun, good energy. Your tonality seemed very likable and approachable. I like how you repeated back to him, out of the city and into the suburbs. Remember that we said this. That was good matching and mirroring. And just having him repeat a couple of things. I would say, if anything, maybe ask a few more questions just to get to know a little bit more on personal, but they were good. It was a good line of questioning to find out what he wanted, what he was looking for. I would have just gotten a little bit more on a personal note with him.
And what's your first score, Michelle?
8.5.
Nice. And Jonathan? Countdown 25 seconds.
Yes. So I like absolutely your tone was great. That you told the person that you're excited to find a new home with this person. I think that puts them at ease. You said like you work with so many first time home buyers. That's good to show that you have that experience. But I think also it's a little less personal. Like, oh, you're working with so many people, but I'm not special, right? So I don't know. That was just kind of how I took it. Maybe it's just my personal feedback. You asked about Catholic school. I thought that was a little odd, specifically about Catholic school. Maybe it was just like a private school question. You also used language that the new home buyer was not aware of. Just gotta be careful with that. But you did have a very.
What'd you have for a score?
8.
All right. Excellent job, Jonathan. Appreciate that. Excellent work overall. Let's rock and roll. So Dr. Vin, who's up next? Donna, great job.
Gonna have Ruth come up.
Yeah, Ruth, you ready to go? Who would you like to be the role player? Who do you want them to be, Ruth?
Let's see. So, Dr. Vincent, I would like you to be the role player.
And who would you like him to be?
I'd like him to be himself.
All right, take us in.
Hi, Dr. Vincent. This is Ruth Carmazon. Thanks for taking my call. How are you today?
I am doing wonderful, Ruth. How are you?
I am great. Thank you. The reason for my call is I'm just curious how you're doing in your business and how it's going since COVID. I mean, what kind of changes have you seen and how are you managing it all?
So since COVID, we've been doing a lot more telehealth, a lot less in person, because of the social distancing and everything. So, it's made it harder to have those in-person kind of connections with people. We're doing as well as we can, but certainly it's put a dent in our business somewhat. We're hoping we're going to recover now that September's hitting, but we'll see. We haven't recovered to our pre-COVID times yet.
Okay. And thank you for sharing that. So it must be a bit concerning for you in terms of where you're going and, just what's happening for you.
Yes, I'd say so.
Okay. And how about like with your family and everything? Has there been do you have kids in school?
So I have grandchildren in school now. So it's been, for them, a rough adjustment. I do have a son in California, and he's been adjusting to being out there. Fortunately, he's been able to get home. But yeah, with the grandchildren, I see that there was, especially early on, some struggles. We're making those adjustments, and fortunately, we've been blessed that everybody's been healthy and safe.
30 seconds to go.
Oh my God. Okay. Thank you for sharing. And I'm glad for your family and everything. And so it sounds like you're doing the best that you can, and things aren't really keeping you down, which is good. Could you tell me a little bit more about what are you doing with telehealth? I'm really curious in your business how that's working.
Yeah, so instead of the intakes where people would come in, we're really just having telehealth video sessions with them, doing intakes. With the functional medicine, it's much more an integrative medicine. It's much more consultative, where we can, we're getting blood pressures and weights, from what they're doing at home or from other doctors' offices. So, we're patching it together. I think we're still getting a pretty good picture for people's health. So
Ruth, 10 seconds.
That's so wonderful. I'm glad that you dynamically, it sounds like you pivoted well. So thank you. Would it be, I don't know where to go. Would it be okay if I share a little bit about myself as if we continue this phone call?
Sure, I would love to hear more about.
Okay, we're gonna pause there. Ruth, excellent work. How'd that feel for you, Ruth?
Good in a sense, like connecting. I feel like I'm a good connector. I'm just not sure. Yeah, I felt okay.
We'll demonstrate later because you are a great connector, but there's a little bit like the dynamic of being in certain steps. There's a sequencing for how we move through those steps, and we'll cover it. But first, let's go to Michelle. Excuse me, Michelle, what do you have for Ruth?
Okay, Ruth. The way that the energy was digging for, you're kind of digging for his pain point. I could feel the concern and the empathy. And my only thing is I'm not sure what it is that you do or what the point really of the phone call was. I could tell that it was something that would probably have an effect on how COVID has affected his business. I'm not really sure, but I'm picking that up just based on the energy transference between the two of you. Definitely would have shared some information on what it is you do. So I'm going to give you on that one, because I'm not sure what you do, a 7.5.
And how about Jonathan? What'd you have for Ruth?
Yeah, sure. I thought it was good that she asked about the COVID impact. That was timely to kind of establish that commonality that everybody has, obviously, today. There was a good conversation between them, I thought. She didn't get to her ask quickly enough. And similar to Michelle, I was not sure what she wanted from Vincent. So I gave her a 7.
All right, nice, excellent. So we're going to talk about that dynamic in a bit. So Nita, who is next?
I'm sorry, Sean, just 1 second. I just wanted to let you know that Joe Coburn is also here as a judge.
Oh, I'm sorry, forgive me. So Joe, we'll start with you the next 2 rounds because we're going to have 2 judges each round. Forgive me, I thought we had the 2 judges only. So Joe, you'll go the next several rounds, leading us off. And so who is next?
Linda.
Hey, Linda, who would you like to be the role player and who would you like them to be?
I will go with Nita and I will just let her be herself.
Amazing. Take us in.
Hi, Nita. It's good talking to you again.
Yeah, hi, Linda. Nice to hear from you.
How's everything going for you? I know you, in the past when we spoke, you were just really swamped with work.
Same, still busy, but that's not a bad thing these days.
That's true. Do you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, or how are you dealing with the busyness that you're dealing with?
Yes, the overwhelm is overwhelming. One thing at a time, and another day comes, and just getting through it one by one.
Right.
Time blocking. I heard about that, so I'm going to be implementing time blocking.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Also with overwhelm and trying to implement something new, sometimes it's difficult transition. And so that's why I was just wondering if there's something I can do to assist you with overwhelm, to help lighten the load and just make you feel more at ease on a day-to-day basis.
What do you suggest?
Well, what I would love to be able to do is just have a few minutes of your time. I know that, like you said, it's really busy, but a few minutes of your time to see how we can maybe do some time blocking that's going to fit you, and also be able to see how you can flow throughout your day so that there's no more overwhelm.
That would be amazing. Thank you for thinking about my busy schedule and that we've got to fit this in somewhere.
Absolutely, because I mean, with times it's good to stay busy, but you want to be busy with ease. So I would love to be able to set up a time where we can talk and just discuss further how you can find yourself in a flow and also be productive at the same time.
That sounds wonderful, Linda. We'll text and we'll pick a time next week, maybe.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Linda, how did that feel for you?
It felt fine. I guess I was looking for more pushback, but it felt good.
Okay. So what would you say, how would you rate the depth of connection that you had with Nita?
Well, seeing that it's a connection that we had before and have talked previously, knowing that she had a busy schedule, I thought it was picking up that connection right where we left off at.
Okay, awesome. So let's go. Joe, what did you have for Linda?
So since you already had some rapport, you pretty much dove right into, knowing kind of that she was overwhelmed and knowing what her pain point was. I guess I would have liked to have a little bit more leading questions to get her to talk a little bit about that. So that gave you some fodder to come back at her with. I felt like she was giving you really short answers and you were kind of struggling to really dig in there. I like how you threw back at her when she said, the time blocking thing, and you suggested, well, I can help you with that time blocking. So you really kind of made that connection with her and hit that. So overall, I'd give you about a 7.5.
Thanks, Joe. Michelle, what did you have for Linda?
Hi, okay. So a lot of just echoing what Joe just said. And going into how you did bring up the time blocking, that shows her that you really were listening to what she was saying and feeling that pain. I feel like the energy could have been just your tonality could have shown a little bit more concern. I guess empathy, not that you weren't feeling the empathy for her, obviously you were discussing it. So I just maybe some tonality with that, showing a little bit more empathy for that. So you guys had some rapport before that, so I wasn't sure what exactly it was, what the phone call really was about. Maybe a reminder would have been good, just a little refresher on what your previous phone call was about, so just freshen up her mind. And I'm going to give you a 7.5.
Excellent, Michelle. Dr. Vin, who do we have next? I'm going to give a little bit of feedback after this fourth person on everything we've seen so far, but I would just put this out there. Are we feeling that there's more head-to-head connection being made or heart-to-heart? So we'll come back to that. Dr. Vin, who's next?
Chris Bratton.
Hey, Chris, who would you like to be the role player? Who would you like them to be?
Oh, did we lose Chris? Oh, I guess we must have lost Chris. Randy, you set?
Yeah. Do I set what I'm trying to achieve first?
You don't have to say. You could just do it during, but you could just say who would you like the role player to be.
Okay. I'm gonna say Edgar.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's between Dr. Vin and Nita.
Oh, I choose one of them. Is that it?
Yes. Yeah. And then tell them who you'd like them to be.
Okay. I apologize, but tell me how I set this up, and then I take Dr. Vin if I choose someone. I thought I could choose anyone. I apologize.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So Dr. Vin would be the role player, and it's just whoever you'd like him to be. Like, what would be an ideal avatar?
He's someone looking for a job, and I'm looking to hire someone. That's all.
Yeah, very cool. All right. And what type of job would you say he's looking for?
In the financial world.
All right.
An investment counselor, a broker.
Okay, you're looking for a job as a broker, investment counselor, Dr. Vin, and let's take us in.
Okay, Vin, Randy here. I wanted to reach out to you. I was told that you might be looking to change careers. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct, Randy.
Well, why don't you tell me what you've been doing in the past to see what might work for you in the future?
Well, in the past, I've worked in the fields of health. I've had a lot of interest in healthcare, and followed a lot of healthcare companies, healthcare stocks, and yeah, so
Okay.
that's what my interest has been.
And so while you've been engaged in healthcare, what is the reason that you're looking to move? Is it because you don't like where you are, or you're looking for a complete change? What is it you're trying to achieve?
I'm looking for a complete change. I feel like that there's better ways I could use my time and my brain, and so I think the financial services are attractive to me.
Well, that makes perfect sense to me. I mean, who doesn't want to use their brain? I would agree with that. Now, I guess to see whether or not we're a great fit for you, I'm wondering, why don't you tell me about an experience you had before that you didn't enjoy on the job? And I want to make sure that we are not that type of place. So why don't you give me an idea of what you haven't enjoyed in the past at work and see if we work with you?
Sure. Things that I've not enjoyed in the past have been, I'm a hard worker. I've learned my craft well. When I am micromanaged, not given a little bit of freedom and flexibility, I find that can be very stressful for me.
I would agree. I mean, who wants to be micromanaged? I completely agree. Well, we don't do that. And in fact, here, just as you wanted, you get to use your brain more. You are not being micromanaged. It's the kind of place that you can grow and take the experiences you've had in the past in healthcare. And I'm wondering, is that some type of place that you might want to come in and speak with me personally about this job?
I would love that. That feels like the natural next step to me.
Well, that would be great. Is Tuesday good or Thursday better?
Thursday sounds better to me.
Okay, then why don't we do this? I'm going to schedule you in. I guess the morning would work best for me. Can you be here before the market opens? Because boy, when it does, this place rocks. And so I want to make sure that I can give you my time without any interruptions. So is 9 o'clock good?
9 o'clock is fine for me.
Okay, then I'll see you then.
See you then, Randy. Thank you.
All right. Randy, excellent work. How'd that feel for you, Randy?
It felt fine. I mean, a little struggle at first to figure out where I was going. And after that, I thought it was fine.
All right, awesome job. So quick drop-in with everybody. First of all, great job. Some feedback so far. In every outcome we have, right, there's in the people that we meet, so it's like, oh, I'm not quite sure. So people are either, right, they're either a potential ecosystem partner, right, someone to do stuff with, they're a potential client, right, or they're in some other category over here, like somebody we just would not want to deal with, or somebody we'll have a social relationship with, like over here, ecosystem partner or client potentials, right? And then when we're encountering people, there's 4 steps of going from hello to yes, right? There's 10 indispensable elements. We're not going to drop in all this content today. And there's 4 energies, right? And the question for the energies, and we'll drop in later on it, is what's the level of emotional and energetic transference from one person to another? And what does that look like? And it's what makes Bruce Springsteen, Martin Luther King, Oprah Winfrey, Tony Robbins, people who create immense amount of influence are transferring their energy to another, but it doesn't have to be manic, crazy, over the top, right? So it's not about like hyperness, it's not about DJ, it's not about like DJ surface level energy. It's how do we take what's inside of us from us to another person? And there's 4 energies, we'll come back to it later. But for now, Nita, who's next? Well, actually, I'm sorry. We have to get to the feedback. So let's go, Judge Joe. Lead us off. Yeah, I'm sorry, Joe. What do you have?
Well, Randy, I thought that you brought in some fun energy when you were talking. You had some really great questions to figure out what exactly he was looking for in a job. You did have some responses. I think like the first time you said like when, who doesn't like to use your brain, that was great. But then you went back and did the exact same question about being micromanaged, and you should probably find a different way to word it to vary it a little bit so that there's a little bit of variance in there. In the end, I thought maybe you could dig a little bit deeper into like, he was in healthcare and he's going to finance. It seems like a really big jump. So maybe there was an open door there that you didn't step through and you could have, asked about that. But overall, I thought you did great. I would give you an 8.
Excellent. Thank you, Joe. And Jonathan, what did you have for that round?
Sure. No, I thought he did very well. When he said he got something absolutely correct, it was a good start. Kind of how he came out of the gate like that. Sounded very confident. He asked good probing questions. He was good at listening and repeating back certain points. I felt that was good to repeat those items back. He got to the ask to speak about the job, and he got the yes. So I gave him a 9.
All right. Excellent work. All right. Nita, who do we have next?
Say, you're muted.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Say, who would you like to be the role player and who would you like them to be?
I really did not expect this, but I feel like I'm in a sales training room all over. I want the Nita to be my role player.
All right. And who would you like her to be?
So I want Nita to be the person who just says no.
The person who says no?
Says no to no. Yeah.
Okay. And so,
yeah. So basically, I feel like it's kind of prospecting role playing.
Okay.
So I want Nita to be the person who's just about to who's at a busy schedule, but did not really have time much. But so just keep saying no to just
right. So
keep
Nita,
giving me all the obstacles that you need.
Yeah, you can be yourself, and you're just in a busy space. So Say, take us in.
Okay. Hey Nita, this is Say. How are you?
I'm fine. Nice to hear from you. Such a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. I remember me. I work with New York Life, and last time I told you that I mentioned I work with a professional like yourself to help some of your people to prepare your retirement plans and maximize your tax benefits. So today I wanted to ask if you maybe have some time this week or next for a Zoom call. So I wanted to show you how I help my clients in a way that you can be benefited when you need it. So would you be available for maybe a quick Zoom call with me, maybe 15 this week or next?
Say I've canceled a number of appointments with you. You know that happens all the time. I don't mean to be rude, but invariably something comes across the through the door, but the client with an urgent case, and I just really don't want to make any commitments and then cancel again. I'm so sorry.
Oh, great. That's fine. I appreciate you saying that, but I understand you have a busy schedule. So for the people like yourself who are very busy, I make really compact and short. And with the maybe 10 to 15 minute conversation, I'll be able to find out if you are my ideal clients, or maybe you have someone who can be benefited from my service. All I'm asking is maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes of your coffee break or before you begin your working. Maybe with that said, I'll be very professional. I won't go by more than 15 minutes. So if you can spare with me, I'll make this time worthwhile. So with that said, maybe I'm gonna say this Friday before 9 or next Tuesday during the lunch hour.
I can't commit to something next coming weeks. Maybe in maybe beginning of the year next year, maybe. Right now is a very busy time. Everything's just opened up again. People are going back to work. People have money to pay, legal fees. I cannot commit to anything this side of the new year.
Okay, great.
so
That's
sorry.
fine. I mean, I appreciate you saying that. I'll be happy to stay in touch with you, though. Would it be okay to, have your contact, your number on my contact list so I can, maybe for the future reference, I can give you a call and then see if you're available.
Oh, absolutely. I do want to sit down and talk with you. I know you call me once every January, and I admire that about you. So I'm sure you're going to get in touch with me in January of 2021, and we'll get together and I'll see what you have to offer. Thank you for thinking about me all the time.
Okay, thank you. Have a great one.
All right. Excellent
Yeah, you
job,
too,
Say.
bye.
How'd that feel for you?
Well, it's always something happens to me all the time, but I just wanted to get over with the fear of hearing no. So
Yeah. Awesome job. And what's your biggest fear?
Biggest fear for me is with my profession I meet a lot of great people, but one of those days I meet these not so positive people, and then that gets me down, and I kind of stop calling, and I just kind of like want to relax, and then that don't want to deal with anything at all.
Yeah.
So that's kind of biggest fear.
So here's a quick thought. There's no rejection. There's no failure. It's just a story. So, we get to our highest level of mastery when we sit in the space and realize that the only person who can make us feel any way is ourselves. That's complex a little bit to get there, but we can get there. And so regardless of whatever, these are innocent souls, good people that are just dealing with themselves and their stuff. It has nothing to do with us in terms of our internalizing it. It could tell us things, though, about our skill set that we could optimize. It's all good. So let's drop in with that. Michelle, what do you have for Say?
Well, first, doing that while holding a baby and like rocking around, good job.
Awesome.
I'm sure that was a little bit distracting, so that might have affected some things. I would say that in the beginning, he did reminder that they met through some people, and then he went right into trying to schedule a call, and she said no, and he went right back into it. He didn't build any like emotional rapport, any deeper connection, and just kept going right into trying to schedule another call yet again, without actually building that rapport with her. Maybe could have thrown in a small little joke or had a little bit of fun energy, something just to build that connection. So because I didn't feel really any connection, I'm gonna give him a 7.5 for doing that with the baby in his arms.
Awesome job, Michelle. Joe, what did you have for Say?
You're funny.
Countdown, 25 seconds.
A lot of what Michelle said. I really think you need to let Nita know that you're different. You're not just the same old guy trying to sell her insurance, and that you really care about her. So asking her some questions about, her needs and where she's at, and even though she's really busy, to let her know that you've got, there's a reason why she wants to carve out those 15 minutes, and it's going to be because she trusts you and she has some connection with you. Not because you just call her every January to remind her of a meeting. So I think that emotional rapport part, you already know what you're up against, and you've got to be different than the guy that's just trying to book a meeting. So also kudos to you. I have 5 kids. I know what it's like trying to work from home and juggle children. So, yeah, I'll give you a 7.
Excellent job, Joe. Dr. Vin, who do we have next?
You're muted.
That's all I have for today, Sean.
Oh, amazing. Okay. So quick, let's just drop in on something for a moment. Let's go with this. Nita, how about you? How about I'm you. I'm Nita. and you are a woman named Mary who wants to do some level of investing from overseas, and there's an immigration issue, and it's an optimal client for you. Sound good?
Sean, yes. Sean, I do have 3 more guests.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going back and forth between
Yes.
two. My bad. Okay, so
Yes, but Vin.
when I'm speaking to you and
Vinny-
Dr. Vin, I'm
Oh.
speaking to you as a collective. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nita. Yeah.
Okay. Could we go back to the guests, or do you want to?
No, let's go back to the guests. Yeah, no, let's get the guests going for sure.
Okay. So, Rachel?
Okay. Let me think here. All right. So, Nita, I will have you be my person, and you have just attended one of my classes, and you've applied for a session for us to connect.
Amazing.
Okay.
Right. So yes, Rachel, please take us in.
Hi, Nita. Thanks for calling. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. Rachel, how are you?
I'm doing great. Great. Thank you. And anything about the smoke down there? Is it getting any better, or is it still the same?
No smoke
I
here.
can't remember. Okay, no worries. I thought there was. Pretend
I'm
you're
in
not
Jersey.
Nita. I don't know. I don't know where you live. I've forgotten. All right. So scratch that bit.
Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey. Right. Okay. So yeah. Well, it's lovely to connect again. And thank you so much for coming to my class last week about branding. I know it's an interesting topic for you. And I'd love to know what prompted you to book this call. What was it that interested you that we could have a chat today? Because I want to help you here.
Well, so I'm always looking for ways to improve the image of my business. And while I think I have the branding of my immigration practice well defined, there's always a way to maybe improve it. I have a slogan that says "Paving the Pathway to Your American Dream." I love my my logo, which is the globe with the eagle carrying the globe. And it's like I'm carrying the world on my shoulders, my clients on my shoulders. So, but maybe there's something more to be done with that. And I'm just open to ideas.
Yeah, so I mean, how do you actually feel about it? It sounds a little mixed from what I'm hearing. You like some parts, and there are other parts that maybe you feel could be shifted or improved.
No, I'm okay with it. I'm always willing to listen to if there's something that can be improved. I may or may not want to make that change, but it's always good to be open-minded. For example, we had the eagle done, and the designer, it wasn't a bald eagle. It was till someone told me that. I didn't even realize that the eagle wasn't bald, so we had to go back and bald eagle.
Right, that's a big piece right there. It's pretty significant, right? Yeah. What's your favorite piece about your brand? What is it that really is conveyed, do you think, currently through your brand that you really like?
I like the colors in the new Facebook logo, and what do you call the top thing? The what's that top bar called?
I mean,
whatever it is.
the
There's a yellow
banner. The banner.
The banner. The yellow brick road is the path you're walking down and where you're going to get to. So I have a man walking down. We haven't launched it yet, but I love the yellow. I love the colors, the gold, the yellows, and the browns of the earth.
Nice. It sounds like
that's
that's really important to you. It sounds like there's the magic of the yellow brick road and then the earthy connection. Tell me about that.
Well, it's people, it's real, it's people's lives. It's not fleeting. So it's really important that they understand that they can trust that I'm going to take them down that path. And I do try to convey that when I have my clients in front of me. But the first impression is the logo and the branding. And I want to always make sure that grabs their attention.
Right. Yeah, I actually took a look at it online. I really do like that. And it does convey a lot of your spirit. Because I know a little bit about you, but obviously not the smoke part. But sorry?
No, I said thank you.
Oh, I thought that was somebody else talking. Can't see the screen. So yeah, and are there any aspects that you feel are not fully, like you say, you're pretty happy with it, but is there anything that you feel is sort of not quite joyful for you, not quite conveying everything for you?
15 seconds to go.
You know, I really love it. I think though that it's in the eye of the beholder. So if I haven't seen it, but you can point it out to me, I might become aware of something that I'm just not recognizing. So I am always open to getting some feedback. And that's why I thought I want to chat with you.
Have you talked with some of your clients? I mean, are you getting sort of patterns from them? Have you mentioned this to them?
No, we're busy with the cases. I don't get into, I don't have time to, they're already sitting in front of me. I'm not talking about my logo, my banner.
Right, I get it. But I really appreciate what you're up to in the world, Nita. It's such an important role to play. And I really love that you, and I think I'm out of time. Yeah.
Yes, all good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Energy was present. Great energetic transference though. Like there was just like this resonance. How'd that feel for you?
Oh, it felt cool. I think I stumbled a bit in the beginning because I forgot where she lived, which means if I'm dealing with the real person, obviously I'm not, vibing in that particular moment. So that, and I think I would have not gone into so quickly what is maybe not, asking her about not favorable things. I felt like I was trying to lead her too quickly because I was squeezing it into 3 minutes. So I don't think I would do the same again. I would come in and firstly, just have her talk more and just lead her around there and just find a way in a more gentle, slower way. I wouldn't get so quickly.
Yeah, so could we explore something for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So by the way, Rachel, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
On The Real Raw. And so
thank you, Nita.
Role play, yeah. Thank you, Nita, and thank you, Rachel, for being here. And why did you say yes to come on today? Rachel, like what are you up to in the world?
You're doing it with me now. Firstly, Nita's a neat person, and she mentioned it to me, and I'm all about networking. I'm a good networker myself, but I know that the group field is so powerful and there's always so much to learn about effective networking as well as meeting cool people. So,
Yeah, but why are you networking? Like, what are you creating?
What am I creating? Well, my work is so much around supporting people in getting to the core of their message, the soul of what they're about. Mm-hmm. And, helping entrepreneurs, especially visionaries, creatives, get their work out into the world in a way that really compels their audience.
Yeah, I'm hearing so much though, like depth of it, the soulful component.
Yeah.
What's the why? Okay, I'm hearing your desire to help.
Why is that important?
Yeah, why? Yeah.
I think because I've struggled with it so much myself, I realize that, and the more I'm around in workshops, I see that it brings up everyone's deep wounds. Often when they're putting themselves out into the world, it can be quite confronting. And I feel that entrepreneurs we're the ones that can really shift quickly and change the planet if we choose to, and if we come together and collaborate. So, big business is cool, but it's like turning an ocean liner around. And so influencers, pockets, and the trim tab. I think entrepreneurs are like the trim tab of change, because they can pivot and create memes and create culture and movements that then the bigger ones can catch on to.
All right. So this is about branding on the micro level, on the macro level. I'm hearing your desire to influence and change the world, to make it a greater place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how's that all going, for you?
How's it all going? Well, I'm on a journey with it myself, but the branding company that I founded with my business partner, Resonant Brand, we are now dealing with some very big players who are doing amazing things on the planet. So I'm excited about some of the projects that are coming through that we're working with. Very excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so what I'm hearing is heart, soul, impact, and acceleration. Am I hearing you right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, for our last 15 or 20 seconds, I shared just a brief bit about me.
Sure thing.
Yeah. So what I believe is that the resonance here, right, is I believe in influencers influencing influencers, like leaders leading leaders to merge ecosystems, to come together in sustainable and exponentially growing ways to make the world an even greater place. So if that's something you're interested in talking more about, I'd be happy to have a conversation with that.
Thank you. Sure. Beautifully demonstrated 3 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, thank you. So, and that's the whole concept that I meant it, A, B,
Yeah.
Right? It's how we, in such a succinct period of time, just through our listening, our questions, our acknowledgements, can really convey so much about who we are.
Yeah.
In a really brief moment, just share and say, hey, would it be worth talking about? So that felt right. How did that authentically, transparently, how did that feel for you, Rachel?
Oh, it felt great. Yeah, that's definitely, I mean, and it's also easier having seen everything in action in the last, almost 90 minutes, right?
Absolutely.
And
so,
you facilitating it. So
a beautiful job. So let's drop in. Jonathan, what say you, sir?
Yes, hi, I'm here. So I thought it was great. I know initially you mentioned you were unfamiliar with the contact. Obviously, you'll know where they're located when you're actually talking to somebody who really contacted you.
Yeah.
I like that you did get Nita to open up about the branding, about could use improvements and things like that. I know you got to it fast, but I thought it was a good way for her to. She actually opened up about it too a little bit. And a good question about her favorite part of the brand. Again, that got her to talking as well. So I thought that was good. You asked her what she thought she was missing from her branding. Again, very good. So I give you an 8.
Excellent. And Michelle, what did you have for Rachel? 25 seconds.
Okay. Well, okay, you were a little confused on where she was from, but I liked how later in your conversation with her, you mentioned something about knowing a little bit about her, except for the smoke. So you kind of like made it like a little bit of a joke. So bringing her back around to forgiving you for forgetting where she was located. That I did like the questions. I felt at one point that when you asked her how she felt about it, and she was telling you some things that she did like, and maybe some things that could use improvements. I felt like there was an assumption that she was very unhappy about certain things, which could, in certain instances, break a little bit of that connection, I think. But I feel like you later built that back up and kind of you recovered from it. So
yes, it was not. I didn't appreciate that I did that. It was like, no, that didn't feel right. Yeah.
But like I said, I think that you started to like repair that and recover, and you got her to say yes. So good questioning. Like I said, connection. I like, again, you made the little joke about only knowing her a little bit except for the smoke. So I give you I'm gonna give you an 8.5.
All right, excellent job, Michelle. Great job, Rachel. Nita, who's up?
Last but not least, Edgar, and he has to leave at 6, so 6:01, 6:02 maybe. But go.
So, Edgar, who would you like the role player to be, and what would you like their scenario?
Sean, I would like Dr. Vincent to be a hospital HR director who is in dire need of hiring nurses because his team's ability to get nurses is not working. But I'd also like him to be a little irritated at the frustration he has with promises that have been made to him by other recruiters, where I'm coming in as an executive recruiter, that he responded to a cold email or LinkedIn, and he agreed to meet with me. So this is a desired chat, but he has this need, but he's heard it all.
Yeah, and Edgar, just real quick, there's some disruption, and I'm hearing you, but there's like a real rattle. So I'm not sure if you changed, because before you were super clear. It sounds just a little bit rattled. I heard the scenario. Can you hear it? Can you try again, real quick?
All right. I'm looking for Dr. Vincent to be an HR director.
No, I heard that. I heard it. Is there any way you could maybe turn the camera off, see if it improves the connection, or turn a headphone, something? We could hear you, but it's just like really like rattled.
All right.
Maybe unplug your headset and plug it back in again.
Okay. Are you there, Edgar?
Sound check, 1, 2, 3.
It's a little bit rattled, but let's take it in. I know you're time pressed. We have this scenario. Dr. Vincent, hospital director looking for nurses frustrated. Please take us in, Edgar.
All right, thank you. Dr. Vincent, thank you so much for making time with me today, especially knowing the needs that you have for HR nurses. So respecting your time and trying to do this within 3 minutes, respecting how busy you are, what are the two biggest areas or challenges that you think that you're having that it's hard for you, your team to find RNs for your hospital, for your network?
Yeah, I mean, we've been looking for RNs. There's nobody local. We've had other firms come in and they make promises to us and they don't deliver. So it's just been, yeah, that's our issue.
Do you feel that the recruiters you work with don't really understand nurses, or what do you think? What you've seen been the biggest challenge as to why they're not succeeding in your opinion?
But I don't know if it's so much that they don't understand nurses. Yeah, they say they're going to have a pool of people and then they don't. They can't deliver to some of the critical care areas that we need, ER, ICU, OB. So, yeah, it's just very frustrating for us.
No, absolutely. Doctor, I absolutely understand that. The great thing here is Talent Solution Partners. We are specialists in the healthcare field, and I have not only run a home health care agency, so even though I'm not a clinician, I can speak doctor and nurse. Number two, I've hired doctors, nurses, therapists, and CNAs directly, personally, but also I've done that for large networks such as Kaiser Permanente, Molina Healthcare, and for Mount Sinai. So, I'm asking for this opportunity. Again, I thank you for this, but we are able to bring 3 approaches to hiring nurses. Number one, we can hire them on a contract basis. Of course, as you know, the issue with that, they're only 3-month stints, and there's a premium on that. Number two, we have a dedicated process in hiring nurses where we actually know where they're at. We can connect with them on a personal level. And number three, if they're looking 1 to 2 years out, because the situation of hiring nursing shortages in the United States are not going to change in 1 to 2 years, we have the ability to bring in nurses from overseas who are English proficient and have passed NCLEX. So I'm hoping, I'm wondering if it's a good time to sit down with you and maybe with your hiring team to get a plan down. So not only can your team better vet what I've told you here, but we could get a better understanding of your pains and challenges. I was hoping maybe Monday early next week, or maybe towards the end of the week would be okay to meet with you and your team.
That sounds good. Sounds like you have some concrete plans, and certainly I heard some, big organizations that you've worked with. I'll probably call them to be okay if I call somebody over there to get some references for you.
Oh, absolutely. I could also connect you with some of the nurses that I placed with them, so you could speak with them directly.
That would be great.
Awesome job. And Egridge came back from underwater. It was super clear now. Great job. So just drop right in. Excellent. With some quick feedback. Joe, what do you have?
I like how your certainty, you were very certain about what you do and how you can help him. You got right down to brass tacks with asking him, what his 2 biggest challenges were and letting him know that you were very specialized and focused in what you could provide. So I gave you a 9.
Excellent. And Jonathan?
Yeah, sure. Same thing. I thought it was good that he asked about the challenge. That was a good question. He mentioned he was a specialist in the healthcare field, which is nice. It gives the person that good feeling that he knows what he's talking about. He then dropped some of the big names, which I thought was a little impersonal. I think that's just not from the heart, right? I think as we were talking about, but it does also do a good sell. And he also talked about having a dedicated process. That also seemed like it's not from the heart, but obviously it's necessary to talk about. And he came in with a good ask about sitting with the hiring team and had a plan. So I like that. Good energy, confident, scored a 9.
All right. Excellent work. Nita, do we have anybody else?
Yes, that's everybody. Edgar, you cracked me up, but we'll talk tomorrow night. Thank you so much for staying.
Awesome.
I'll tell you later, Sean, about it.
Thank you. So, go ahead, Nita.
No, we're ecosystem merging, and he's talking about the very thing we're talking about.
That is beautiful and amazing.
Because that's his thing.
Beautiful and amazing. Listen, so Nita, Dr. Vin, how was today for you fine folks?
You go, Doc. You go first.
Today was great. I felt like there was a lot of good role playing. I felt like people were engaged. I felt like some listening opened up. Yeah, I thought it was wonderful.
Awesome. Nita?
So thank you. I thought it was really, really a lot of fun. I was so appreciative that all of you came on and sat through the hour and a half and, good sports. I thought it was very fantastic.
And I want to thank Joe, Jonathan, and Michelle for doing such a great job judging. It takes courage and vulnerability to do that, to be open and share your heart with fine folks you're just meeting in many cases. And all the participants today, immense courage and vulnerability, but that's the access to growth. For the past 23 years, I've had the privilege of understanding the money, time, and magic that is accelerated at the highest level when integrous influence meets an optimal process. And if this is the end of our journey together, let us remember that as soon as we doubt whether we can fly, we cease forever to be able to do so, from Peter Pan. But hopefully this is just the beginning, because we have so much to share and do together. Have a beautiful day. And again, Nita, Dr. Vin, thank you so much, and happy Y Wednesday.
Thank you both. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you,
Sean. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
for
you so
coming.
much.
Bye.
Thank you for the challenge.
Okay.